From day one, that's been our goal and my goal to actually change the standard and actually put the bar up a little higher in the meal prep market, meal prep game, not to be an average market.
It's filled with a bunch of generic bullshit. And it's filled with a bunch of things that it makes it boring. And your brand and the way that you guys represent your industry makes it fun. And that's why people like it. The fitness industry is already gigantic, but it is gonna fucking explode over the next 5 years. All right, so we're back on the bullpen. It's been probably about 16 months since this guy and I sat down the last time. As far as the show goes, we're going to be back on a bi-weekly basis. We're going to be bringing on guests just like we did in the past. Tony's going to be our first guest. Tony is if you don't know Tony, he is the self-made completely. Changed, in my opinion, he changed the whole way that meal prep companies and prep food companies actually work and should work. He's setting the standard as to what should be done in his industry, and that's why I fucking love him, because that's what I do too in my industry and with my business. So we have Tony from Hummus Fit. Tony, tell me how 2024 went, how it ended, and what we have coming up for 25.
Well, it's nice to be back. I think it's been a long 16 months since we first sat down.
We both got a lot done.
Yeah, we
did a lot of shit we said we were gonna.
In the last 16 months, so I think we need to do a little recap of what has happened in the last 16 months.
Perfect.
With Hummus Fit, and I appreciate you introducing me like that, because from day one, that's been our goal and my goal to actually change the standard and actually put the bar up a little higher in the meal prep market, meal prep game, not to be an average market. If something is doable, we can do it better. We're gonna do it better, and we're gonna push every other company and every other individual to be better at that as well. So what has happened since we last sat down? I think I had promised you, I couldn't say it in the video, but I had promised you that big changes.
It was right before you started really branching out everywhere.
Exactly.
Yeah,
so
it was right before.
At the time when I said that, we actually had 11 locations signed within 8 different states. But
okay, so that's where it was at. That's what you were working on at that point.
That's what we were working on at the time, and that's why I was like,
yeah, that all fucking happened, bro.
Yeah, everything did happen.
That all happened, and a lot more too.
There was a lot of work on the back end to that point, but we knew it was going to happen. Thank God we made it happen, and we went from being in New York last time we sat down to now we're in 9 different states. So within the last 16 months, we were able to do 9 different states, go to 9 different states, bring our brand from New York to all the branch out.
It's cool because I do some coaching on social media, and I have a client that's in Boca, and he literally goes and buys the meals from the store, bro.
Awesome.
I swear, he buys exactly what I buy. Sometimes he gets online, sometimes he goes and grabs them. I'm like, that's crazy, bro. Because you know what it is, I'm a consumer of your product, right? Like I was saying before, I've used it. I've had negative experiences. I've had positive experiences. I've moved away from it. I've came back to it. And it's the brand that I've chosen to represent now as one of the cornerstones of what helped me in my journey, right? I was super fat. I lost a ton of weight. And a lot of people have that same experience. And if you find something like your product that you can stick to, and you're in my shoes and in shoes that I was in before, and it works for you, you have to just run with it. I lost 100 pounds with your food. Which is pretty fucking sick, bro.
I remember from the get-go, from the beginning.
Exactly.
I've been following your journey through the Hummus Fit page, day one, and I started seeing a lot of changes within you, and I appreciate that. The negative, the positive, you coming back and you saying this means a lot, because yes, there's other options out there. And you chose to stick with Hummus Fit, with what we do, and you love the products.
Of course, and
you're the prime example of what it could do.
100%, and it helps. The thing with the industry, the meal prep industry, is it's filled with a bunch of generic bullshit, and it's filled with a bunch of things that it makes it boring. And your brand and the way that you guys represent your industry makes it fun, and that's why people like it. Because you're doing something, you're taking something that's pretty ordinary and normal, and you're innovating it, and you're making it fucking cool, and that's why people like it and want to be around it and come to your events. And have 4,000 people in one day come to a grand opening in the rain, like, you know, like.
Yeah, that was crazy.
But anyway, all right. So let's circle back. All right, so 24. Last time we spoke, had 9 locations in the hopper. Couldn't really say anything. They open now. How does like the set? That was so that was like probably towards like the beginning to middle-ish of 24, right? And then what kind of happened from there? And like what brings us back here? And what do you have going on now?
Yeah. So when we had that lined up. All those locations, we knew that they were coming, so we need to work on our infrastructure to be able to supply the demand for all those locations that we wanted to come up with. And that was pretty much the biggest challenge that we had in 24, building the infrastructure to actually be able to feed those, the expansion. We were able
100%.
to expand our nationwide audience.
Yeah, because now you have this platform that can make all these sales all over the place, but if you can't service it, then what the fuck good is it?
Yeah, what was the whole goal?
Yeah,
what was
exactly.
the point of,
so now you have to innovate on. So now you have to actually on the fly. That's how running a real business is. You know, a business that's not a hobby. That's how it actually works. You just do it. You don't think about it nonstop. You fucking just go for it.
You go
try
for it. You go for it.
And then you figure it out as you go. And like that's what makes someone a real like gritty entrepreneur versus someone that just like has a plan and can never fucking execute. That's why only like a small percentage of us actually take this path.
Exactly.
Right. So now, all right. So locations are starting to open. Things are getting good. Snowball effect. Developing the platform more to be able to service or developing the infrastructure of the platform more to be able to service the new markets that you're in. And now obviously you did that. And now how were sales? How'd everything go? I don't know how much you want to talk about, but whatever you want to talk about.
Well, no, you know what? 2025 is going to be all about transparency and playing open hand. What I mean by that is I want our audience to know like what's going on the back end.
Yeah, 100%. People care. You built a brand where people actually give a fuck now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want them to know like what happens on a day-to-day basis. Like I'm not a CEO that sits in the office and sits on a chair and hey, do this and do that. No. Like day-to-day basis, I work.
100%.
Anybody who knows me will vouch for that as well.
Every time I've ever been with you inside of one of your businesses, you're trying to give me free shit, for one, and then after you give me free shit, then you're usually working, and then like that's how you are.
Yeah, I think you know what that is.
Anytime I came to your events, you're like in it, and so is your wife too. Your wife's 100% same way. You guys are like in the event, like doing it. You're not just like in an ivory tower, like sitting there, like you're trying to like interface with the people and like make connections and actually portray what you guys are showing on social media in real life, which a lot of brands don't do. They're very different when they post and when now they're in person. It's not the same. But with you guys, the warmth that you've created, that you show on Instagram and on social media is actually real. That's why it actually works. And it comes across great.
Whatever we put out on social media is going to be us. I'm not an influencer. I'm not going to put something out there of my character. Hey, this is the personality or person I am, and then be a different person in real life.
Yeah.
I'm actually much warmer in real life.
100%.
That's what I hear from a lot of people. And plus, like, when we do these events and you have 4,000 people show up to your grand opening, I appreciate that. I'm not sitting there and being arrogant about it.
Dude, these are your people.
No, these are my people.
Yeah.
I'll never forget the day, I was praying to God to get in customers in 2015 to our first location when we were literally just sitting there waiting for customers to come in versus, hey, we do one event now, we have 4,000 individuals coming there. So I appreciate every single person that walks in. And is within that, 2, 3, 4 hour period, I want to speak to as many people as possible. Hear their story,
100%.
meet them, let them know who, Hummus Fit is about. Like this is us, and connect with them.
So what I've seen now, speaking of like connection and just like the whole social media topic, like, so what I've noticed, at least from my perspective as a consumer and as someone that actually collaborates with you guys, I've noticed like extreme growth in 2024, like, and not in just the sense of like it looks better, like you guys sold more, right? Like just the quality of the athletes and the brand and the collaborations that are coming up, and just I'm sure there's a million things that you can't even say and talk about, but just what I've seen so far, I follow it very closely, bro, because I watch. I'm obsessed with business and different industries, and fitness, and this whole industry is becoming very near and dear to me, and I watch everything that's going on. I like to know what the fuck is happening, and I've noticed just like the quality of the athletes, like I said before, and just the overall like aesthetic and culture of it is just like going like this, bro. It's like swelling, right? It's like an ocean. It's just swelling and swelling and swelling. And then like, I feel like this whole industry, and your company, I believe, and your brand is gonna be a huge part of it, at least in our area, is the fitness industry is already gigantic, but it is gonna fucking explode over the next 5 years. And if you're into it and you're passionate about it, that's the cream, right? Like you're gonna rise to the top. And if you can do it the best and innovate the most and do it better than anyone else that's in your area, you're gonna just fucking completely bust it open and kill it. And like that's the difference. And now your brand is becoming national, like for real. Like I always said when I would look at the packaging, I was like, this stuff looks like it's ready to be sold all over the place. And this was years ago, bro. Like when the Buffins first came out, I'm looking at it, I'm looking at the ingredients, I'm just looking at how it is as a product. I'm like, bro, this could literally just be in the store. Like right now, as it is, it looks good enough. It tastes good enough. Like I'm sure that's who knows what the real plan is, but I'll let you take it from here and kind of just talk about how 2024 ended off and your opinion on how you guys grew and just that whole scenario, how you feel about it.
So 2024 was a great year for us. And
was that your most growth you've had? Visually?
Internally, I would say so.
Okay.
What I mean by internally is every year my goal is to be better in quality the year after. And before 2024, when I sat down with my partners, who are my brothers, I said, look, 2024 is going to be about quality. We have to emphasize the quality even better. What could we do to make our brand, food, products, branding, stores, how could we be better with quality, customer service, everything, ingredients, and the growth with the stores or expansion came along with that because I believe that if you continue to grow your quality and grow your vision and keep evolving every day and actually like not be arrogant and actually listen to your consumers because not everything's a win. You could take certain losses, certain products might not do as well, and maybe we'll get a bad feedback on a meal or so.
Yeah.
I need to take that, go do my homework, instead of sitting there being arrogant and saying, oh, you know what, now you probably, every meal is different for somebody.
There's no way, my shit's the best. There's this one guy's just wrong. Like maybe not. Yeah. Maybe not. And then you always got to consider the source, but like maybe not. Like you got to at least look because I think something like that could snowball. You don't look once, you don't look twice. Now 3-4 times, you have a huge problem. You got a $10,000, $20,000 problem now.
Yeah, and
whatever
it's not even just money value. It's more of we might lose a customer or we might upset a huge crowd where we could have done something about this.
Yeah, you're appealing to the masses at this point. Like the trajectory that you're on. It's like it's a matter of time, bro. Like you're gonna be like how many unique customers do you have? Do you think?
We have a lot.
Like millions.
I have a lot. We have a lot of customers that order week to week to week, like 35 weeks. I have a customer that's ordered for over 155 weeks. And
you give them like an award for that?
I called them.
Did you? You were like, dude,
I
what's
literally
up? Yeah,
called
like,
a
who are
customer.
you?
I think it was Memorial Day weekend last year. I'm sitting in front of the desk, in front of the computer, and I'm looking at this name. I'm like, I'm gonna call her. I pick up the phone, I call her, I'm like, hey, this is Tony from Hummus Fit, and she pauses. She's like, yes. I was like, I'm looking at your orders. You've been ordering consecutively for weeks after weeks. It's been over 2 years. Like, I just want to thank you.
Yeah.
And I actually bought a grill and I shipped it out to her.
That's awesome, bro. That's a great story.
A very nice individual that lives in Pennsylvania.
How did she find you guys? She just like...
So we do a program with the NYPD. Okay. It's called Health and Wellness.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Healthy Meals for Cops.
It was done recently, right?
We do that weekly. Every week we supply 2 commands with meals through the Health and Wellness Department of the NYPD, where our goal and mission is to make cops fitter, more fit. Instead of them going and purchasing stuff from the bodega and like fast food or unhealthy meals.
Really makes the job, foods. It makes it safer. The more fit and in control of that they are, and like they can help more people, like it's better. They live longer. It's a great mission.
And I want them to be able to run and catch those criminals.
Yeah, you got to get them, bro.
You know?
Run them
you
down.
You got to have that stamina. If you want the stamina and you got to be fit.
Exactly.
So she saw it there, and she started purchasing week after week. Never once an issue. She said this is the best service that she's ever had, and that made me super happy.
Yeah,
I went out to Costco. I bought a grill because it was like right before the summer, and I sent her out a grill. I said, throughout the summer, every time you grill, I want you to think of us.
Think of Hummus Fit.
Yeah,
that's it.
Just as a thank you. So we have a lot of individuals like that, that's incredible. With the space that we're in, meal prep, it gets boring.
Oh,
which
yeah.
we understand. That's why every day we have to evolve. We have to come out with new meals. We have to get creative. It's easy to do chicken and rice. Anybody can do chicken, rice, broccoli. I want to be more than that. You know what? We have those options. But then how could we get more creative?
Yeah.
How could we start playing with more spices?
Yeah.
How could we make our own sauces from scratch?
I feel like your meals, like you have like a perfect spectrum of like the menu. Like it has stuff that's a little bit, like if you know what you're eating and you know what you're putting in your body, it's all good, right? You can lose weight with all of it. Because I've eaten almost every single meal and I've lost weight week over week while eating any meal.
If you're a female, you have the steak meals 8 times a day, obviously.
And now you know, okay, like I have this. So like there's stuff that's like more towards like, all right, if you're eating a little bit looser and then if you want to tighten it up, like you have all the options. Like I literally, for the last like, probably, so when I got down to my skinniest, I was like 340 at one point. I got down to 170 recently. Now I'm like, I went back up on purpose, but when I was 170, I was eating 2 Hummus Fit meals a day. It's packaged. The sesame chicken and rice and the flank bowl every day. Post-workout and then my carb meal. And I literally got down to like the lowest body fat I've ever been at.
That's
so
amazing.
For people to say like, oh, it's got to be super clean, it's got to be cooked at home, like, I mean, I guess if most of it's all good like that, a couple is not going to do anything, and it's super tasty. Yeah. It puts a lot of variety in it, and it's hard for a lot. For me, it was always really tough to just like not have that variety, like not have that little bit of freedom. And the meals are good, but they're healthy, so it feels like I'm taking a liberty when I'm really not.
Yeah,
I'm
and
just
like, why
myself.
can't you make meals that are flavorful fit into your macros?
Yeah. Have you ever had issues like that where like it wasn't aligning with how it was on the labels and like you were catching and like did you make changes to fucking fix anything like that, or did you ever have problems with anything?
Yeah. So years and years ago, I mean, right now I've been talking about this for a while, where I think the FDA and the regulations are crazy, and I think that they should really regulate the food industry overall first and better.
Yeah.
How could you give 20% leadway on a macronutrient or a calorie count for a place? Doesn't matter. Doesn't need to be meal prep. What that means is if a meal is it says that it's 400 calories, you have 20% leadway. What does that mean? That's 80 calories lower or 80 calories higher. You can be in that range. And for somebody that's watching, that's a lot.
It's a lot.
That's huge. So if you're supposed to eat the 400 calories and you have 4 meals a day, 4 times 4, you're consuming
the whole extra meal.
Yeah, and then within a week, that could be
5 meals.
Exactly.
Like, that's a day.
Yeah,
that's
I think that should be regulated throughout the whole food industry.
Just more stringent guidelines as far as like actually the values that they put behind the food.
Yes.
Yeah, like it should be less, not 20%, it should be like 10 or 5.
And like, what do we do? What do we do to fix that? I invested into a digital mass scaling machine, and it's a conveyor built where the meals go through. You set up a meal. Let's just say
what's at Lake Grove?
We have one at Lake Grove.
Yeah. So if you go to Lake Grove and you look, it looks like Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, but it's just Hummus Fit. But that's what he's talking about. That machine that's behind there.
Yeah, there's like a bunch of different. Exactly. Like, it's one unique machine. And let's say the teriyaki flank bowl. If that bowl is supposed to be 9.3 ounces, and we put 5% aerospace in there, what does that mean? Okay, well, it's supposed to be 9,
4.15 more.
So exactly, you put it through. If it's more than 5, up or down, beep. The machine will beep, and it'll actually stop the whole machine.
So you tighten it up a little bit.
Oh yeah, we tighten up way better.
I mean, the market that you're trying to appeal to, you have to, because it's people that are trying to get results.
Of course, we've been on top of it for years. Don't get me wrong, but not to this extent. Anytime that there's new technology out there, I'm on it. I'm a tech geek.
I will say this, from using and this is completely honest, right? As a consumer, from using your food back in the day to now, there's way more consistency in when I get the meals. Like it used to be like you'd get 2 of them and one you'd be like, okay. Kind of like a noticeable difference here, and I can understand it because it's being done at such a large scale, so fast, so many times.
I mean, there's no excuses.
It
shouldn't be done regardless.
100%.
And no matter what, like that's what I mean by quality. Like, how could we be better?
How could you improve now?
I dare or I bet anybody to go and grab the 2, 5 teriyaki flanks. Put them on a scale. Put this on a scale.
100%. They're good to go now. That was my next point. There's way less of that happening.
Aerospace, exactly.
It doesn't. The only time I see it ever is, I guess, just like maybe when you guys bake. Sometimes like it'll be more puffed up. That's not volume.
So
that's not a difference in volume. That's just
protein.
size. Yeah.
I can promise you that anybody who does bake with protein will tell you that the deformation of the baked good that
Yeah, I
they're
remember you
making.
telling me you like had to get rid of a whole batch of the blueberry muffins because the tops weren't right.
Yeah, the
They
pops.
didn't have like that.
And like my wife is very petty when it comes to that stuff, and that's what makes it quality.
Yeah, of course.
Here and there, you'll see like a muffin looks like a UFO, or it looks like, ET.
Yeah.
Like, why does that look like that? When you bake, temperatures and
where it's at on the pan.
exactly
yeah.
where it's at in the oven, it all changes things up. And like in the very beginning, when she was trying to nail down these muffins, it took 3 months.
Yeah.
I have pictures where you could see it doesn't even look like a muffin.
Yeah.
It looks crooked to this way, that way.
They're dialed in now.
Yeah.
They're dialed in now, bro.
99.9% of the time they're dialed in. But when you're baking, first of all, timing is everything. Whether you're mixing in the bowl, you're mixing by hand, whatever you're doing. If you overmix something and the gluten rises, etc., you let something wait outside for longer than 10 minutes, 9 minutes, like everything is so timed, now it's dialed in. You have digital clocks, like boom, all right, the mix of the blueberry has to start, all right, it has to stop now. If you go over that for 2 minutes, that can play with the texture and consistency of the top. The top could be softer or harder.
Yeah.
Most of the time it becomes harder.
I've eaten so many of them that I've seen it every way at this point. I've seen the moist one, the rose one, it happens on the more dense ones.
And I'm still saying it doesn't mean like no one's perfect.
Nah.
Things can come out deformed, things can come out harder.
Also, like as long as the mix is right as far as the macros and you're really tracking that much, you should be weighing it regardless.
Of course.
So like if you want to just go by what's in front of you, then go ahead. That's what I do most times. But if I really wanted to really dial it in, okay, I know what the macros are. Let me actually just weigh it to what's on the package, and then that problem's gone. But that shouldn't be something the consumer has to do unless they're crazy bodybuilders.
That's why they trust you as a meal.
Well, exactly. So now as long as you just bridge that gap, that's all you had to do.
Yeah.
Right. That's and
you
obviously
can't break that trust.
It's not perfect, but it's constant improvement, and that's why I feel like you guys are. And that, like I was saying before, it's just swelling and swelling and swelling, and you're literally making great money for you're providing for your whole entire family with this business that provides for other people, and it's a great thing that you've built. So now,
thankfully, we have 117 employees on payroll. 117. To me, that's a huge number. We're not a corporation. We're still a family-owned business, and that's a big number.
100%.
We started with 1 or 2 employees.
Yeah, our businesses are very similar size. I think I have like 80 right now, and the most I ever had was like 120. It's a lot of people, bro. You look around and you're like you get to the holiday party list and you're like, damn, I got to pay a lot of money right now. This is way more people than I thought it was, and they all got someone they got to bring. Now this is 150 people. What the fuck?
Yeah, exactly.
But whatever. It's all obviously all things like that.
It's all good stuff.
Are worth it. All right, so 2025. What's going on?
2025.
Tell me about it.
Number one goal every year, like I said, 2025, quality. Quality is great. How can we make it even better? Could we get it better ingredients? Could we use better technology? Could we use different methods? Could we make better products? Could we be better with the customers? Can we have better stores? Could we have a better customer experience? That's the goal. That's the number one goal. Growth is always going to be there. Every company, every business wants to grow regardless. And yes, that's our goal, but quality cannot change. That's one thing I know. I don't care if we go up to 100 stores. If the quality starts to go down,
go back down.
What was the whole purpose
might as well
anyway?
Back down to 70.
I'm a passionate guy when it comes to my businesses.
Yeah.
You know that. Everybody who knows me knows that. I will never sacrifice quality. As long as the quality doesn't get sacrificed, then the growth is going to happen.
Why do you think it's so important to you, quality?
Consistency and quality is number one to me because I'm a type of guy, if I go to a pizzeria, I have a slice of pizza and I love it, I'm going to go back there. If I don't have the same pizza, I'll never go back there. There's only one reason why I was going back there anyway. Whether the consistency is the best or the worst, stay consistent. I want to stay consistent, and the quality has to keep going up because
so you want
every
people
market
to know what they're getting.
Of course, and make sure that the quality, exactly. If the quality starts going down.
And you want to have a good enough rapport and relationship with them where if it's not, they're willing to tell you and not move away from the brand, which is what you built, honestly.
You open a business to make profits, to make money. But at the end of the day, for me and my family, it's not just money. We're having fun. I'm having a blast. Every day when I wake up at crack of dawn and I'm starting to work, whether it's computer work and I go in, all my employees see me, all my friends see me work throughout the day. I'm having fun. The moment I stop having fun is the day I'll never do anything.
Yeah.
It's not. There's not enough money that you can pay me to make me do what I do anyway.
Yeah, I hear you. That's why like the fitness industry is something that I've become very, very passionate about, and I have my own goals and aspirations within it, and I'm in a hot pursuit of all of it, and I'm just really excited for what it's what your brand can, how I can bring value to your brand and vice versa. Just once I create what I'm actually gonna fucking do here, and once it happens. Last time he was talking about something that he can't talk about, I got something that I can't fucking talk about, and it's fucking cool, and it's gonna be really sick, and you guys will definitely know within the next few months. So I'm looking forward.
Why don't we talk about what you've been doing though? Tell me what you've been. It's been 16 long months.
Yeah. So I mean, my business is, my industry is it's a fucking roller coaster, right? But what we've been able to do, all right. So in what I do in sales and the type of sales that I do, the thing that sets companies apart is consistency, right? And what that means is consistently being able to perform and service clients at a level that is better than the rest of the competition, right? I've done that very, very well for a very, very long amount of time, right? So I've always said this before, I've never been the biggest, the fastest, or the strongest, but I always seem to fucking win. And what happens is I built up such a great base of clients over that time and such loyal employees. Obviously, I've had some downsizing, I've had some things change in my business, I've restructured a bit, but now the group that I have are like, it's a solid group of people. And it's like 55 people, it's a little bit smaller. I actually was just looking at a new space today because I'm taking my space that I have, it's just too much at this point. So I'm going into a 15,000 square foot space in an A building that's like right up the block. Just looked at it today. It's fucking sick. It's got a gym in the place, and then it's got a gym in the office suite. So my suite that I'm taking, it's like A1 space. You walk in, bro, there's a shark tank that's like the size of this wall. It's sick. I was just there today. We're about to sign it.
I can't wait to see it.
So that's one thing, but there's something else that's really fucking cool too, and I can't wait to talk about that, but I just can't yet. It's killing me, but it's okay. But all right, so yeah,
that's... Give a hint? Can you give something?
We're going to get jacked. We're going to get really jacked.
Ooh, okay, all right. I can kind of like sense
We're going to get really jacked, and there's going to be a Hummus Fit. 2 hints.
I like that.
There you go.
Yeah. I like that.
Yeah, so that's basically what I've been up to, bro. Like, I've just been within that. So now my business is like, we started during COVID, so we're like year 5. So what I've realized is I've worked this business. We've been able to stay alive as... in the industry that we're in, which is very hostile, very, very sales, very fucking sharky. There's
everybody's a shark, bro.
So we've been able to kill it there and stay alive. And I've seen it. I've ran this business like 3 different ways. I've ran it huge. I've ran it not lean. I've ran it lean, and I like it lean and mean. So like now the size that I'm at, like my business is no longer like hiring. Like we did one more run in the last like month, and like I'm still at the tail end of it. And once I hit 60, I'm staying at that. I'm investing in the people that I have there. I'm just going to push them as far as I can push them. And the goal is just stay super consistent. I mean, like, we still have all the good qualities that set us apart from other places. We still have our own technology. We still do things differently than everyone else does them. We've just been at it for so long that it's hard to stay relevant, especially when you have like sales reps involved and you have to service clients. This is the thing with my industry. So many fucking people forget that they're servicing a client and they just want to make money. And then it's not funders, brokers, and clients anymore. It just becomes funders and brokers manipulating people to make money. And like, that's why all the time while I'm trying to work deals, I have to sit there and literally be like, guys, you remember that there's a consumer at the end of this that we have to do a fucking service for, right? It's not about you and me making money. Sometimes we make less money so they could fucking win. And that's like always been my struggle within my industry, is making people fucking understand that. I love money, and I like making it fast, and I'm really good at making it. But also, like, the only way to make it consistently over long periods of time is to, in my space at least, and for a lot of other industries too, is to build a very, very solid base of clients that if something goes wrong, they're willing to stick with you. And that's what I was saying before. That's how it ties directly into your business.
Exactly.
Even though you guys had your growing pains, it doesn't matter. Your core audience and your core client or your core customer is still so fucking solid. Like, it's like, what's going to happen, bro? And now you just have more opportunity to grow through that, because they're going to show someone, like I said, I'm doing a little bit of coaching online, and not even like at a huge scale. And like the kid that's working under me, like literally uses the meals and like found it on his own. I was like, what the fuck? It's like, whatever. It's crazy. But he's just happy to get his discount now.
And look, same thing, customer experience and quality. That's what you're literally talking about. Customer experience. If we forget the customer experience,
people forget they exist. They think the money is just fucking coming from nowhere.
Yeah, no,
It's like that's
these
the
are the
whole
people
thing.
that are feeding us, and we need to do our absolute best to service them.
It's the whole thing, bro. That's the whole like how it all circles back. But anyway, so all right, so in the next like, all right, now obviously the year changed. We're in the new year. Holidays went by. Everyone's fucking woken up again. Everyone's back on track. I'm sure you see a nice boom in revenue right around this time. Everyone likes to get their New Year's resolutions in. So tell me about what you guys have coming up, like short term in the next few months, and what your customers have to look forward to.
So the customers can definitely look more into the new meals that we're going to be coming out with, new products, new locations are already signed, different states. We're looking to expand more on Long Island as well towards the city now. My dream has always been New York City. I feel like until we go into the city, I haven't done anything.
Yeah.
Because if you can make it there, you can make it anywhere.
100%.
That's what I believe in. New York City, you can have 100 locations
Fifth
if you're
Avenue.
not. That's
Fifth Avenue, bro.
Yeah, Fifth Ave, Hummus Fit, and then I'll be happy. But our customers could definitely look into more into how we're going to be evolving, and that's more products, better service, getting their products faster in a better quality, and what are we doing within our industry to change things up. Like I just signed a great contract with a company. I don't want to say their name yet, but we're going to be using their cleaning solutions to get pesticides off of vegetables and fruits and all natural ways to disinfect the working space, food service areas, all the stainless steel things. And I think that, mark my words, in the next 2 to 3 years, everybody's going to have to do this.
So you're ahead of the
curve. They should do that.
You're ahead of the curve.
That's what I believe. And I'm doing it not just to be ahead of the curve. It's what I believe.
You're setting a standard.
We have to set a standard.
You have standards.
When you go to buy a fruit or a vegetable in the supermarket, that's sprayed with a lot of pesticide. And you know what? Maybe 3-4 years ago, if you asked me, I would have laughed and said, yeah, I know.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
No, it's not like that anymore.
Yeah,
As you're getting older and you have kids yourself, I have kids myself.
100%.
I want to make sure that what they're consuming and putting in their bodies, it's clean product. And signing this deal today that I just signed with this company was like a relief for me. They did a little demo right in front of me with their product where they washed an avocado in front of me, and you could see all the stuff that's coming off.
Like that, like all like what got trapped in like the little bowl. Yeah.
Yeah.
How much more they get off.
Yeah, how much more they get off, and it's all natural ingredients, natural products. Pitbull actually owns half of that company.
Sick.
The rapper, singer, whatever, music guy. Yeah, Mr. 305.
So we got quality, consistency, setting the standard, right? Keeping the bar real fucking high.
That's the goal.
Here's the thing. When you're in a position and you're winning in your industry and you start setting the bar high and people start to hit the mark, that should be very exciting for you, because that means that you're actually making a change. You're literally making the whole industry better if people are trying to beat you actively. And the day that someone beats you, be happy. Be happy that they beat you, because that means now you have a competition, and that means now the industry got better. You changed the industry. And now one other thing I just wanted to cover, because I feel like it's really important for the brand and just like the growth and just, what I think is important for the brand and for at least what's important to me. If someone wants to get involved with you guys as far as like becoming an athlete or anything like that, like so now like how do they do that, right? Like how do they just sign up, or like how do they do that process? Just explain that real quick.
So you know what? I'll bust a myth within our industry or cover our company. I'll cover Hummus Fit. So when we have athletes, we don't go looking for athletes. Mm-hmm. We don't go contacting, knocking on Frank's door saying, hey, Frank, do you want to become an athlete? Can we pay you to become an athlete? It doesn't work like that. The athletes approach us 99.9% of the time because they see the product or they've tried the product, and that's my number one rule. Have you tried our products? If you haven't tried our products, you can't represent this company. You have to believe in the quality, the products, the company, and the family, and what we've built and what we're building before you can become an athlete. You could be a super runner. You could be Usain Bolt. Doesn't matter. That's my standard to myself and the company itself. So, but if they want to get involved, they can go right online and they can fill out a form. We have an athlete manager that overlooks.
So what, they just go to hummusfit.com and it's going to have a
scroll
section.
All the way down,
scroll all the way down.
Become an ambassador, become an athlete, and you get to fill out a form, and We have a whole athlete team that will contact them and, you know, do the whole evaluation.
Due diligence, vet everything out.
We run background checks on all the athletes.
Awesome. That's perfect.
That's number
As
one,
you should.
you know, priority to us because somebody can have millions of followers.
You just
Good
don't know.
for them.
Yep.
But one bad move they do,
Yep.
don't forget they represent my company.
100%.
And they represent everybody else as well. So if they have a bad background or, you know, shady stuff going on, I don't want that. I don't care how many followers
Doesn't
they have
matter,
or
yeah.
how much money they bring to the company. Doesn't matter. You can't bring shady stuff around.
No, you can't put a price on also what you've built and what you've cultivated, and it's your company. You can literally do whatever the fuck you want. So, so like if you see that and you're like, nah, I don't want to deal with that.
Yeah,
I'm good.
exactly.
You know? But anyway, all right. So, 2025 is going to be exciting. I'm glad we took this time to do this. Like I said last time, we'll be back. I think we covered a lot of important stuff this time.
Yep.
And I appreciate you coming back to be the first episode of the 3rd season of the Bullpen.
I'm
and
excited,
I'll have you back
man.
again.
I was super stoked to know that this is the first episode.
Yeah, that's why I don't want to.
It's the comeback, and I'm the comeback guy. Like, this means a lot.
It's going to be a good year. So, all right. So we'll end it there, and appreciate you guys for watching. Thank you.
Get ready, 2025, Hummus Fit.
Let's go.
What's on?